I might bend, but I will never break, because it's in my nature as a strong woman. Always be more than you appear, and never appear to be more than you are. The question is not whether we are able to change, but whether we are changing fast enough. Anything that seems to be set in stone or inalterable can, indeed, change. In matters both large and small, it holds true that every change begins in the mind. There is one red line that we should not cross. It is a commitment to human rights, the respect of the dignity of the human being. There should be no compromises. We have stood up for our values, of freedom of the press, of freedom of democracy, freedom of religion, and freedom of expression. Freedom does not mean being free of something, but to be free to do something. I never underestimated myself. And I never saw anything wrong with ambition. We have a duty, as the state, to protect our economy. We are for the protection of intellectual property. For me, it is always important that I go through all the possible options for a decision. Don't forget that freedom is never something that can be taken for granted. We must have the courage to accept that some countries can move forward a little more quickly than others. Maybe I've just become more hardened. The exposure to so many extreme situations tends to harden a person. You have to develop survival strategies. Fear has never been a good advisor, neither in our personal lives, nor in our society. Cultures and societies that are shaped by fear will without doubt not get a grip on the future. I chose to pursue a career in physics because there the truth isn't so easily bent. No one knew how the Cold War would end at the time, but it did end. This is within our living experience. I'm surprised at how faint-hearted we sometimes are and how quickly we lose courage. I want our strong German economy to be able to cope with the merger of the real economy and the digital economy, otherwise, we will lose out to the competition. Germany has become a country that many people abroad associate with hope. I am not an expert in this field, but I do try to keep up to date with the Bundesliga. And I do follow World Cups and European Championships more closely. In East Germany, we always ran into boundaries before we were able to discover our own personal boundaries. India needs jobs, Germany needs people, and collaboration is crucial to meet the demographic needs of both countries. We are a country based on democracy, tolerance, and openness to the world. If we look at where relations between the Soviet Union and Germany were in 1945 and where we stand now, then we have achieved so much. It's my damn duty and obligation to do everything possible for Europe to find a united path. We want to remain a stable anchor in Europe. The euro is our common fate and Europe is our common future. Nobody in Europe will be abandoned. Nobody in Europe will be excluded. Europe only succeeds if we work together. I personally hope and wish that Britain will stay part and parcel of the European Union. Solidarity and competitiveness are the two sides of a European coin. As far as an upper limit on refugees is concerned, my position is clear: I will not accept it. We will have to accept a certain degree of legal immigration. That's globalization. In the era of the smartphone, we cannot shut ourselves away. People know full well how we live in Europe. Every person who comes is a human being and has the right to be treated as such. Whoever decides to dedicate their life to politics knows that earning money isn't the top priority. Politicians have to be committed to people in equal measures. I am regarded as a permanent delayer sometimes, but I think it is essential and extremely important to take people along and really listen to them in political talks.